this necklace. So it's the only thing I can come up with other than this club. When we go on trips, and so I'm not going to go through all of it. What got me thinking about doing just purple glass, number one, Easter, but number two, I never thought of just thinking about the color. You know, you'll see a book about ruby glass or about forest green glass. Well, there is actually a book on purple glass. Someone asked me earlier what goes into making purple glass. I tried to find it in this book, and they don't talk about it. I just know that the colors red and blue make purple, but I don't know what components they use. So I made some notes on the number of companies that make purple glass. There were 58 companies worldwide who made purple glass. Of those, 34 were in the US. The rest were Italy, Scandinavian countries, Czechoslovakia. The color names, that's why I did the little paint chips. The color names to me were really interesting. I mean, is it purple? It's Blanco. Purple, pale lavender, rose, purplish pink. Morgantown called their purple steel blue. Viking had thistle, amethyst, amethyst mist. Fenton had a number: amethyst, plum, lavender, royal purple, lilac, orchid, violet, mulberry, wisteria. There's black amethyst. New Martinsville made something called moondrops, was their name, alexandrite, and Heisey also made something called alexandrite that is purple, and mauve, and rose, which I found strange, is listed in the purple book. Tiffin also has smoke color, and if you look at it closely, it might look like, sometimes it looks like purple, it depends on where you put it. Their other colors are also twilight, dawn, and plum. So I'm not going to go through all of this. I was happy to hear what Max said earlier about buying a piece that isn't perfect. When I lived in Iowa, the very first time I went to the What's Your Flea Market, I didn't have a lot of extra money to spend, and there was a Fenton white hobnail Epergne, not as large as that one, and I really wanted it. It was $75, and that just, well, if I spend the $75 on that, I can't buy anything else. So I passed it up. So fast forward, I'm in Iowa for something, I've already moved back home, and in Kelowna there's an antique shop. Kelowna is about maybe 40 minutes from Amana. And there in the antique shop was the Fenton Amethyst Crest Epergne. $75.
How many years difference?
I don't know. The large piece has been repaired. And it's not a great repair job, but you would never know if someone didn't point it out. And if I ever saw, or if anybody ever sees, this large one, depending on what the cost would be, I would be willing to replace it. But I would ask Max and Ann, I think this is a piece that is hard to find and is probably worth a lot of money. So I probably shouldn't be doing it. And then I probably would have to repair it again. But it sits in a bedroom I use, I call it my TV room, and sits in the middle of a dresser. A lot of other stuff is around it. But someone asked me if it's my favorite piece of glass. It certainly is up there. But I think it's a really good example of when you see something And you say, well, I really like that, but it's got a little nick, it might be worth your while to get it anyway. This Fenton piece, for those of you who are new members, apparently I fought with Justin over this piece at one of our auctions. And I was more stubborn than he was, and I managed to get it. But if you're wondering what you might see at some of our auctions, this was a piece that I bought at our auction. I like this piece. This is Fenton. While Fenton doesn't call this rose, this to me would be probably more going into a rose. I call this my buyer beware piece. Michelle, I think you were with me. I bought this in Manitowoc. But I bought a whole bunch of things at the time. I grabbed it because I thought it was $45. And I thought, well, that's really kind of a good price for that. And I got home to find out they had charged me $75, which was maybe what it was marked, but because they take the prices off. But I would have probably not bought it had I realized it was $75. I do like it.
It's really pretty. Don't worry about
It is. It's a pretty piece. But this is Cambridge. Also, this is not. I do have a Cambridge nude, but this is the Cambridge Ivy Bowl. I bought this when Pam Wool and I went to the Cambridge convention. Let's see what else should I show you here. This is a Fenton piece that I got here. I don't know if I won it or if I got it at one of the auctions. Max, you correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is consolidated. And this piece of stretch glass I bought from Jeff Morrow at either one of our shows. I think I might have bought it at a Chicago show. I kept going back and looking at it. You know how you do that? You keep going back to the same booth and you pick up the same piece, you put it down, you walk away, you come back, pick it up. After the 5th or 6th time, I think I decided that I must want it. Crackle glass. This is, I don't know, because I can't read this. I think this might be, this is rainbow. I like crackle glass because when you hold it up to the light, you get a much different, you really can see the shine in it. Just a little inexpensive piece that I got. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? Finish crown. We talked about this Viking. I like just this little piece. Here is another buyer. There's nothing wrong with it. Another buyer beware. Spanish lace with the violets and the snow, the amethyst handle. I bought this at Benson Corners from the man that I think charges too much for things. And I probably paid double what I should have paid for it. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I probably paid way more than I needed to. I want to show you this piece. This is, what color is this?
Smoky gray.
If you put it next to the purple, looks like it's purple. So this is Blanco smoke. This is Cambridge smoke, which to me is much more brown. But I wanted to show you because, again, what they call color can be very, very, very different. I bought this piece when at the Czech Moser glass company in Prague when we were there. And I foolishly thought, well, we're going to be right at the source, right, where they make Czech glass. I'll find all kinds of bargains. No, there are not bargains, but I really like this little piece, and it sits with the rest of my American glass. Let's see. Here is the Cambridge Nude Stem, and I also got that when we were in. I used to just buy stems, individual stems, and I've always wanted to buy one of these, but I never saw any for under like 135, 145 until we were in the town of Cambridge, and I picked it up at one of the antique stores, I think for maybe $75. And to me that seemed to be okay. Let's see, what else? I know this has been sitting here, you guys have had some. Let me show you some of I love these little animals. It's Fostoria fish. Thank you, Ann. I thought it was Fenton. The fish sits in my guest bathroom, along with, I showed you this basket and this Fenton basket. We have a lot of people here that know Fenton. For those of you who don't, Michelle did my basket presentation for me when I threw my back out a few years ago. But one of the things about Fenton baskets is they're known by the handle, the person who put the handle on. So if you wanted to look up who might have made the handle, you can find it in one of the one of the basket books. All right, let's see. I showed you the fish. I have the Viking whale. I believe that this little, I think this little lamb might be Fenton, the bunnies, and the little carnival bunny. And then, I put my note down. What's this called again?
Some people say dichroic, some people say dichromic.
So it'll change colors depending on what, and when I bought it from Ann and Max in Chicago. When they had it in their booth, it looked like it was lavender.
But then that's not that Andrew, like my.
Alexander, no.
What is that word again, Justin? Alexandria? It's the same color, but it's a turn color. Okay. But Alexandrite is, a trade name, like a copyright name. Okay.
And then I have this little owl on a tree. I think it's supposed to be a ring holder, but I don't know how you get your ring on there. I haven't quite figured out how a ring would fit on that. Let's see, what else do I have? This is actually one of my favorite stems. It says, Souvenir of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know where I found it, but kind of fun to have. There was so many, I'm sure we've all seen them when you go to antique stores where the name of the town is written on the glass. Bev showed a piece earlier. This is the Fenton plum. I like the colors and kind of see a variation on the colors.
Vicki, do you just have one of those?
I'm sorry?
Do you just have one?
Yep.
Okay.
I only buy one stone. This is also Cambridge, the ball jar. I don't know, Max and Ann, you might know this. Cambridge used to have, as part of their convention, and I thought it was kind of a cool thing, on Saturday morning, starting at 6 o'clock, they had where you just kind of rushed in and the dealers were still unpacking. And I bought a few pieces at that. It was really, I would have thought it would be really stressful. You know, there you are unwrapping and unpacking things and somebody is yelling at you, how much is that, how much is that? And their, you know, prices aren't on it. But I got an opportunity to go to that. I don't know if they still do it or not.
Yes.
Kind of fun.
Vicki Max said yes, they still do it.
Do they? Yeah, it's a fun thing to do. This is Blanco. This is kind of to me it's lavender, maybe it's smoke. I got this in West Bend, Andy, at Cherry's Pickens. I was with a friend who was furniture shopping and this kind of jumped out and ended up in my hand somehow. I have several of the Blanco water pitchers. There's another name for it, I just call it the water pitcher. I think I have one in green, one in blue, one in orange. So who knows, that might be another obsession someday, getting all these because I don't have any obsessions. This little decanter is Italian. It is, and I don't know what the real name is because the first letter is blanked out. All that shows on it is Alrose, but I kind of like it. It could use a bath, it looks like. You know, I would say to anybody, we would love to hear all of, you know, see your collections, so don't be shy about doing a collection. Sometimes you learn things that you didn't know before, and it gives you an opportunity to clean your glass. I had not, I'm sure you all have seen these, I had never seen these before, the Blanco glasses. And they're really, they just have a nice feel to them. You know, where you can just put your fingers down here and they've got a nice weight to them. So I have this purple one and a green one. This is also check. I didn't buy it in Prague. A little shot glass. It has like little gold around it. What haven't I shown you? Oh, so the vase that was the first door prize, this was supposed to be the door prize, and this is probably not worth as much as the vase. I got it for $5 in Benson Corners on a 50% off day. And the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. And I thought, well, now how am I going to give that away for a door prize because I like it? So I thought, well, I've got plenty of vases. So the candy dish stays with me. I don't know who made this, but I really like it. I've had it for a long time. I like the shape of it. I like the cutting on it. What questions can I answer? Is there something up here I didn't? I'm sorry?
Do you use it?
Well, of course not. Don't you just display, are you supposed to use your glass?
Yeah.
No. Not any of these stems, but I do use my stems. Somebody, you had.
I had the same question.
No.
That sort of light milk glass purple on the corner by the speaker, yeah.
This one? The basket? I think I maybe got it by one of our auctions. Those of you who know me know I have a small collection of shoes, and I didn't think I had any purple shoes, and then I realized I had this one, and this Fenton one has purple on it, and this other Fenton one also has purple on it. I do really like this. I don't know who made it. It's kind of like, feels a little bit, the poncho feels a little bit like it might be Blanco, but I don't know who made it, but I like it. Other questions? Yes.
I just wanted to let you know, I did a little bit of looking at the beginning. You said you weren't sure what chemical made purple. I looked it up and it's manganese.
Okay, manganese. I take magnesium, so I don't.
Might see purple someday.
Vicki,
Yes.
I've been to your lovely apartment, and I know where you keep a lot of your glass, but I've never seen the purple, so where does the purple?
So I have the purple in 4 different places. So along with the Kern, there's a lot of purple in my TV room. And on an old dresser that I managed to get for $100 when I lived in Iowa. And my wicker etagères, I have 3 shelves that have purple on. I've got glass ones. So it's getting a little crowded. A couple pieces are on the floor in the TV room. Other questions?